Good morning. Today I'm going to do a thought string exercise and essentially just talk about whatever comes to mind as I talk to the camera. So talking to the camera is a interesting phenomenon because you don't really know who you're talking to. You don't know whether you're talking to someone right now, whether you're talking to somebody in the future, whether you're talking to somebody that you know, or whether it's some complete stranger. For all I know, this could be viewed in 1,000 years' time by some alien race. Aliens are a bit of a strange thing because I think for a lot of people we believe that aliens do exist because we exist essentially. And on the balance of probability, when you look at how many billions of stars there are in the universe, to think that there's only one of those stars that has life is probably more improbable than probable. So I think that's why, it's really important. Oh, not important. I think that's why you can find that aliens, it's reasonable to think that they might exist. I'm not a huge fan of alien sci-fi movies. I tend to find that they're a little bit over the top, which is weird because that's the point of them. I actually prefer things that are much more grounded in a more earthly type setting. I do like more medieval stuff based in sort of a fantasy world that's, pre-modern day. And I really love those sorts of genres that are, fun and exciting and medieval or magical. But my favourite of all is definitely the post-apocalyptic stuff where it's essentially a return to the way things used to be, where the modern day has sort of ceased to be and your characters and everything is brought back to the sort of that survival aspect of life. It's probably why I resonate very much with The Walking Dead and other shows like that, where it is based in a world where the modern day has ended and you've sort of taken back to what people would have to be like if you didn't have modern stuff. It makes me think about some of the video games that I've played in the past. There's some interesting ones. My favourite one, of course, is the Candid series, and in that you've got this sort of more medieval type setting with aspects of there's a few characters with guns and stuff, but for the most part they're all very much your swords and staffs and bows and all interesting weaponry. And then you've also got this sort of magical aspect of the world as well. It's strange though, because I'm not a big fan of things that are magical either. Like, I don't mind small magical elements, but I much prefer that sort of political drama. It reminds me of the show Game of Thrones. It's like I really liked Game of Thrones, and although they had some sort of magical elements to it, for the most part the show didn't feel like it was all about magic and sorcery. It actually felt much more grounded in a more realistic view of sort of the world and history, which I really resonate with, and I think the political nature of it is interesting. I think when you add magic into these shows and stories, it can sometimes become a little bit overpowered, and that they could just use magic to cast spells and make things kind of go all over the place. It probably brings me back to the aliens, which is probably why I don't like the alien genre either, where it's sometimes feels a little like it's a little bit too out there, and it's hard to really grasp in a sort of more humanistic way. I'm actually distracted right now by the reflection that's sitting in front of me in the desk there. There's a reflection, and I can actually see the sky, and there's basically clouds up there, and they're in this weird pattern. It's not your typical cloud shape. It's almost like, it almost looks like grass or like carpet. It's got this sort of patterned shape where there's just like, it's dotted across the sky, and it just looks, yeah, really interesting and very magical in some ways. It makes me think of just nature, and you know, it's so easy to be distracted by the day-to-day going-ons that we just fail to even notice how beautiful the world can be. Like, we live in this incredible world, and we just take it for granted most of the time. I've got a sore eye at the moment. At the moment, pretty much the whole family is sick. Everybody's got a headache and sore throats, and I had a bit of a headache this morning, but I'm not sick. I'm never sick. I truly believe that our thoughts create our state, and just because I have a headache doesn't mean I'm sick. It means I have a headache and it's going to go away. And that's my philosophy on sickness and wellness. And yeah, I believe those thoughts that we tell ourselves create our world. And I genuinely believe that, which means I'm genuinely not sick, which means, you know, this headache will go away, and I'm not going to get the sore throat that everybody else is getting. And that's my little superpower. But I genuinely don't get sick very often at all. So I feel like I'm running out of things to say. These weird thought strings are difficult to manage. I much prefer it when I have one single thing to talk about. And it's because I want to sound like I've got this coherent state of mind, and I want to look like I'm confident and I know what I'm talking about, and that I'm not a bit of an airhead or spaced out or talking about random stuff. I really want to just talk about what matters to me. Thanks for watching.